Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I'm your guy, Hector. Like always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. Check out the intro, and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Oh, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back, like I said, to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. This Tuesday, June 13th. I'm your guy, Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. Mr. TC, how are you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. It's just another day talking baseball, but I don't think the Yankees are doing well. But I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Had a nice little weekend. Was hanging out with my brother, having a little pizza party in his backyard because he built
Nice.
himself a pizza oven. So I'm just chilling. Yes, the Yankees were. We lost the series to the Boston Red Sox. We lost the series to the Chicago White Sox. It's just we have a problem with the Sox. We'll get into that. But before we do that, shout out to the chat. Let's do a little bit of the roll call. Mr. Jacob Petruzzi is in the building. Our friend Jonathan is in the building. Anthony Medina de la Isla is in the building. The Yankee Clipper is in the building. My guy, Mr. Unpopular Opinion, Sports and Gaming is in the building. My YouTube uncle, YouTube dad, Mr. Steve Schumann is in the building. Hey, yo, Los, what it do? Yankees Farm is in the building. The Yankee Clipper says, is it just me? Despite the front office, as much as I love this team, I 100% agree with you, bro. I may despise this front office, but I still love my team.
Mm-hmm.
Don Sicario is in the building. Hey, yo, Manny, we got Manny Morales in the building. Hey, yo, Manny, how you doing? Mr. Sean Browning is in the building. Damian Serrano's in the building. Uncle Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles, how you doing? Oh, Juelita's in the building. Juelita, how you doing? Shout out to all you Yankee fans out there. Appreciate everybody who showed up. If you guys can, please smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, and all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Senor D-Rod, Hector, what it be doing? TC, how you doing? Mr. D-Rod, hope all is well. All you Yankee fans, appreciate you guys. We are sitting at 666 subscribers right now. If you haven't hit that subscribe button and you're watching me and TC right now, what are you doing with your life? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It does wonders for the algorithm, helping bring this content to other Yankee fans. But TC, like I said, we lost the series to the White Sox. We lost the series to the Red Sox. Sloppy defense was what hurt us this weekend. And when you're a team that struggles to score runs, especially when your big bat is out of the lineup, you have to play perfect baseball. We didn't play perfect baseball on Friday. Jake Bowers had a few mishap in the outfield. Saturday, Domingo Germán stepped up. We won. But then Sunday, with the lazy play from Gleyber Torres and other Yankee players, we'll get into that. How are you feeling when it comes to this team right now?
Pretty disgusted that they forgot how to play baseball since Aaron Judge has been out.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. They're just having brain farts every day. And if it wasn't for that second base in Sunday's game, we wouldn't have scored 2 runs. So I mean, the hitting is awful. It's off. 3 hits ain't gonna get you a win. And I mean, shout out to the pitching. The pitching has been fantastic, and there's nothing else they can do. The hitting needs to step up. They haven't. The defense has let us down. I mean, we're given that Manfred ghost runner on second in the 10th inning, and we can't get the run over across. And I guess we're going to get into Trevino's at bat, which was probably one of the worst at bats in the history of baseball. But that's something to talk about later. But I'm just pretty disgusted. Yeah.
100%, right? When you look at the Yankees offense and this weekend without Aaron Judge, this was WRC plus for our players, right? Billy McKinney had a weighted runs created of 168, which is solid. Then Calhoun had 148, which is also solid. Gleyber Torres had a 121 weighted runs created. This is when it starts going downhill. Josh Donaldson, 85. Trevor Bowers, 34. Jose Trevino, our amigo, 36. DJ LeMahieu, 28. Giancarlo Stanton, -18. Anthony Volpe, -45.
Wow.
And Anthony Rizzo, -72. Our offense has been struggling tremendously, especially when Aaron Judge is not in the lineup. And I hate to say it, TC, because I hate to be that fan, but it seems like without Aaron Judge, this team is just bland. This team is mediocre. This team is not even a wild card team. How do we expect to make it to the postseason? How do we expect to do damage in the postseason if we can't score runs against the Boston Red Sox, who is a last place team, against the Chicago White Sox, who is a last place team? Come on.
Yeah. The problem is that the guys that we are supposed to count on, like the Rizzos and the Stantons and the Donaldson and Gleyber and the DJ LeMahieu, they have been completely awful. The guys, the Bowers, Calhoun, and McKinney, they've actually contributed most to the runs while Judge has been gone. And it's just there's no way that this team can stay afloat with the offense they have right now. The pitching can only do so much. You can't have a shutout every night. So these so-called professional at bats need to turn into a real a hit here and there. So not just we're proud of these guys. They had a great at bat. Oh, what'd they do? Pop out? Nothing to show for. We got to stop making excuses. Some people we got to be held accountable. Some people have to be benched. I mean, I'm sorry, and I think we're going to talk about it later. But Anthony Volpe, it's time. It's time. He needs to. They need to send him down. We need a boost of something. We need somebody to give us a jolt of energy.
We'll get into the Anthony Volpe situation in a little bit. But talking about the offense as a whole, shout out to Booger Brain in the chat who said Rizzo is playing like Judge broke up with him, which is a fact. Because if you look at the Yankees veteran hitters over the past 2 to 4 homestands, check this out. Anthony Rizzo is 0 for 19. I think Anthony Rizzo is 1 for his last 26, which is his worst slump in his entire career. In his entire career, but he's 0 for his last 19. Giancarlo Stanton is 1 for his past 14, and that 1 being a single. Josh Donaldson is 2 for his last 18, 2 solo home runs. DJ LeMahieu, 3 for 13. Damian Serrano in the chat, he brings up, hold on, wait 1 second. I can tell you what is wrong with the Yankees' philosophy. Tell me how the hell the Orioles watched a few videos of Hicks back in 2018, and then in less than a month, they have fixed him. WTF? What is seriously going wrong? 100%. It's a philosophy issue. It is the hitting coaches. It is what the coaching staff is teaching these players. How can you see a lot? It's if you have Joey Gallo just going to a team and succeeding, that cool, copy. But you got Tyro Estrada, who re-released with the San Francisco Giants, hitting at 300 and a big part of their offense, right? We got Aaron Hicks, who now in Baltimore looks like the Aaron Hicks we were all promised that he was going to be. That's what Aaron Hicks looks like in Baltimore. How can you explain other players or players from our team that we decide just to discard and throw away, going to other teams and actually succeeding? What's your thoughts on that, TC? Oh, God, Gary Sanchez in San Diego as well. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I think this stems from the general manager. Okay, so Cashman tries to be the smartest guy in the room to come up with alternative things like I did the deal. I'm so smart that I outsmarted the fans. Opposite of Captain Obvious. Okay, and I think that's what has trickled down to the hitting coaches. They're trying to be smarter than every other hitting coach out there. Oh, we're going to use this philosophy. We're going to use this technique. And guess what? The guys completely suck. They don't know how to hit anymore. I mean, we knew these guys would struggle from coming back from injury. We had Rizzo, Donaldson, Stanton. We knew it was going to take some time. Okay. And it's too bad it's at a time when we don't have Judge. So the offense looks completely dead. But come on. I mean, you guys got to figure something out. I mean, we as fans can see, especially with Volpe, what he's doing wrong. With Rizzo, what he's doing wrong. With Stanton, with DJ, I've said maybe he goes to a lighter bat. Maybe he chokes up. You gotta do some. You have to change your approach. You can't be stubborn and go up there. Oh, I'm gonna go up there and swing for the fence every single time. It's not working. It's not working, and they have to change their philosophy. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a damn shame right now. But shout out to my brother, Mr. Pete Seminetti. Oh, yeah, Petey guy. What are you doing, Pete? Pete, maybe you got to drive down to Yankee Stadium, have a conversation with Dylan Lawson, because I don't know what to do right now. I don't know how to feel. Honestly, yesterday, since the Yankees were off, I was going to take yesterday as the day that I do shorts, drop some videos on the channel. But I just felt so disgusted and discouraged by this team. I just couldn't get out my funk yesterday. And I know people say, listen, it's just a game. Don't take it personal. I understand that. I'm not taking personal. It's just this gut feeling in the middle of my stomach. You know what I mean, TC? It's just a nasty, bad feeling you have in your stomach.
Yeah,
and this team, how can you get over it when the team is playing the way it is, right? I said when Aaron Judge went on the IL and we had the White Sox coming into town and the Red Sox coming into town, I said this was the schedule that we needed to take advantage of in order to muddy the water until Judge comes back. We lost the first series to the White Sox. We lost the second series to the Red Sox. If we lose this series against the New York Mets over the next 2 days, TC, I may punch someone.
Yeah. And just real quick, for those who haven't done this yet, definitely subscribe to nyynewstv. Pete, you gotta catch up with Pete. He talks the real sports, the real Yankees. Get what are you doing if you're not connected with Pete? Come on.
Yes.
We're all there. Join us. It's a family. September 23rd. Also, we're going to talk about that later. We'll be there.
We'll drop the commercial later on for September 23rd. But like TC says, make sure you guys go and support the NYY News TV family. We got a show over there called Get Yanked. Our brother Pete Seminetti, he does an amazing job when it comes to Game Season Live and when it comes to instant reaction to whatever Yankee news that breaks. I wish I was able to control my emotions like Pete can control his emotions. That's another conversation because sometimes my emotions get the best of me. Shout out to my guy JC in the chat. JC, how you doing? Damien says, what do we think we are going to do against Max and Verlander? I tell you, not a damn thing. Damien, I love the optimism, Damien. I definitely do. But with the way that this offense has been struggling, and you see the comment from Damien, you got to agree with Damien. What do you expect for us to do? What do you expect for this offense to do against Mad Max and Justin Verlander? Even though both of those pitchers aren't in their prime, aren't the best versions of themselves, but even a 70% or a 60% version of any of those two pitchers on any given night can shut our team down, especially with the way the offense is right now. Here to Sports on Twitter, he points it out. How about the Yankees veteran hitters start stepping up to the plate and start doing something? Volpe is struggling, surely. No arguing that. But it is not his fault. He is not the main reason this offense is putrid at the moment. And I got to agree with that. I know a lot of Yankee fans, they went out of their way, and I'm going to remove this for a second. They went out of their way to complain about Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe needs to be sent down. Anthony Volpe, he's not good enough to be here at the major league level. If you were to look at the at-bat that was right before Anthony Volpe, Jose Trevino, what are you doing in the batter's box? You literally had 3 to 4 pitchers that were out of the strike zone that you swung at. You had a pitch that was coming to hit you, and you still swung at it. TC, what do you make of that Jose Trevino at bat? Like, I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter who pointed out, we're not asking Jose Trevino. And I told them, I'm not asking Jose Trevino to turn into Pudge Rodriguez or to turn into Mike Piazza. All I'm asking from Jose Trevino is to have professional at-bats, to get a ball and get it out of the infield instead of just popping it up or striking out. TC, what do you make of that Trevino at AB?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, that's a major league hitter in a crucial situation, swinging at balls. That's little league. You tell your little league kids, don't swing at balls up here. Don't swing at balls in the dirt. Don't swing at balls at, he could have got out of the way of some of those pitches, and instead he's hitting. I don't know. The judge situation, him being out, has completely fried all their brains. They've all of them have completely forgot how to play baseball. You see it it's everybody. You see bad at bats. You see lapses in the field. You see Rizzo off second base. What are you doing? Getting caught? Are you trying to steal? Who do you think you are? He's not Ricky Henderson. It's everywhere. But that at bat, it was in the most important part of the game, letting balls get in on him, and he's swinging at it. You could have been on first. I mean, Volpe has speed. He puts it on the ground. We have a run, but instead we come up short again, and it's pretty sad because this offense, they have to find other ways to score runs. Because it's not coming from the home run. If like Saturday's game, 2 home runs. It was Glaber and Calhoun. Was it Calhoun? That's all we did. That's it. That's it. And that's how we score. Like I said, the ground ball by Trevino up the middle hits the second base. 2-run score. Without that, miracle, we don't score any runs. So they got to figure something else out. Boone's got to put men in motion, and the swings have to be better. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else, because it's awful. It's a hard watch. It's really hard to watch this team.
No, it really is at the moment to hard to watch this team, especially with the way that the offense has been performing. Like there's no excuses for it whatsoever. The little mental mistakes that you pointed out. Anthony Rizzo, love Anthony Rizzo. Don't get me wrong, I love Anthony Rizzo. You getting picked off trying to still bait and then just stop in the middle of it all.
Not even.
What are you doing?
In a rundown. Yeah.
My guy, Mr. Pickle Juice Zook is in the building. All right, I understand. You're a Met fan. I get it, Zook. I get it. Just know we still love you, Zook. You still our friend over here. Shout out to our guy Zook. And the Rangers Ice Brew will be coming very soon. But
can't wait to see that.
A battle of the struggle teams, because let's be honest, both teams, the Yankees and the Mets, are playing their worst baseball, right? And then we're gonna have this series without both the franchise players from each team. No Pete Alonso, no Aaron Judge.
Right.
Does the Subway Series even have that cachet to it anymore? Like I said over the weekend, the Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. Is that rivalry even still at its peak? Like, what do you make of this whole rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox? Honestly, I think at this point, with both teams being bad or both teams being in the position that they are in, We're being force-fed this rivalry because ESPN, because of Fox Sports and all these different ads that you see for it. The rivalry is here. What do you make of it, TC, with both the Yankees and Red Sox and the Yankees and Mets?
Yeah, I mean, before I even get into that, ESPN, the Sunday Night Baseball, that is hard to watch with the catcher cam or the ump cam and this and that, and talking to Trevino while the game's going on. They got to get rid of all that. It's just hard to keep track of this game, and I don't know. I don't know about you, but it's just I can't watch a game like that.
For me, I don't hate it. They could do it. They could do it better, right?
Yeah.
They could fix it up. But if baseball wants to attract a younger audience, or if baseball wants to broaden its pool of audience that are watching, they have to switch it up and do stuff like this. It may seem gimmicky, but they have to figure it out how to do it the right way, right? Because like you said, with Trevino, the way they did it, it was kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
right?
Like
What are you doing?
Justin Turner's like trying to like say something like, "Wait, who are you talking to?" Yeah, he's like getting distracted. I mean, that's just not baseball. I get it. They want the fans to hear real live baseball, what's going on. But I think there's other ways. If you mic up a guy in the dugout, maybe he's joking around, or in the outfield. I like when they do like Bader. They had a mic on Bader, and he was talking about where I'm going to play, but not distracting with the catcher with it and the catcher cam and maybe once in a while, but it was like almost every other pitch, and I was like, what? Like, can we get a good view of the? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, as far as the rivalry, that's kind of gone away. I mean, both teams, you can see it in the standings. Both teams are just fading out. We've been overtaken by the excuse me, the Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays. And we're just kind of like distant memories now. We're looking like the old history. It's just gone.
You know what we look like? You know what we look like? We look like the guy that was a star quarterback in his town, and he's still 33 years old, working at the local bar, still trying to live his high school memories and high school's dreams. Every time anybody comes in the ball, he always brings it up like, yeah, I remember I could have went pro, but I jammed my finger, and
you remember
the scouts stopped calling. His
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
That's Uncle Rico.
That's Uncle Rico right there.
I still got it. Go deep.
That's how we are right now. The Yankees are definitely Uncle Rico.
Yep. That's who we are, Uncle Rico. That's our new name, Uncle Rico. So
I want to bring something up, right? Because we keep talking about DJ LeMahieu and his struggles, right? But over his last 30 games, DJ LeMahieu, I'm gonna throw out this stat. Let me know how you guys feel in the chat, and let me know how you feel, TC, when I bring out this stat. Over his last 30 games, DJ LeMahieu is hitting .214. He has a .273 on base percentage. He has 29 strikeouts, and he is slugging .339. I hate to bring up these stats, and I hate to have this conversation about DJ LeMahieu, but we're going to have to start doing it soon. Is it time for the Yankees to bench DJ LeMahieu? Because when you look at his production, especially over the last 30 games, like I said, a .214 batting average, a .273 on base percentage, 29 strikeouts with a .339 slugging percentage. What's your diagnosis, or what's your take when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, TC?
Well, I mean, you brought up, should we bench him? Who are we supposed to replace him with? Josh Donaldson? He's just as bad. And the problem is we don't have anybody else to put in. We've plugged in all these guys we've plucked off the AAA rosters and the other guys that are, spring training, phenoms that from other teams that, they were released, and we can't keep relying on those guys and these veterans that we're supposed to. There's really nobody else we can bring in. The only guys we have is Peraza, who's in AAA. We got Ben Rortvet, and we have Florial. So those are the three hottest guys we could bring up. I don't see any trade possibilities at this moment that Cashman's going to do. So it's sad because it's not just DJ LeMahieu. We brought up, it's Anthony Volpe. It's Stanton. It's Donaldson. It's
Anthony Rizzo.
It's everybody at the same time. It's a disease. It's unbelievable. I mean, injuries on top of slumps, on top of errors. It's like, what more can go wrong with this team? There's no like silver lining or a bright star coming. But we have this guy. Yeah, that guy is on the IL, Aaron Judge. So it's like the ship is slowly going down. Titanic. Goodbye. And we're gonna slip out of contention. I mean, honestly, I think the division's just about over. We're always going to be in the wild card. I mean, that's
that's
given,
just a given. Yeah.
But with DJ, I don't know. I've given suggestions to, do some alternative, bats, a lighter bat. I mean, he's missing it. He's missing everything. Outside corner, he can't hit the fastball, and he's behind the count almost every time, and he's just guessing. It just, he looks old. He looks old, just like the rest of the team. They look old.
Yeah. I want to bring up something that Steve brought up. He said, this is not Boone's fault in any way. It is amazing that the team is 9 games over 500. I agree with Steve, right? To a certain degree. Has Boone handled the bullpen in a certain way that make you scratch your head? Absolutely. But it's not Aaron Boone's fault that Giancarlo Stanton missed a whole month of the season, right? It's not Aaron Boone's fault that Brian Cashman didn't go out there and get an everyday left fielder to play for this team. It's not Aaron Boone's fault that Jose Trevino decided he's not going to be able to have a professional at bat, right? Now, the only thing that you may say could be Aaron Boone's fault is Anthony Volpe, right? Because we heard the reports that Boone was slamming his fists on the table with the front office, arguing with the front office, wanting Anthony Volpe to be up here at the major league level. Maybe the front office wanted to have him at AAA just to have some more at-bats under his belt before we brought him here to the major league level. Maybe the front office was leaning more towards Oswald Peraza instead of Anthony Volpe. I'm not sure. But when it comes to blaming Boone for everything, I'm not blaming Boone for everything. Like I said, does he take blame for the way that he's handled the bullpen sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. He definitely does. Does he get blamed for taking out Domingo Germán in the 8th inning when he has 80-something pitches? Yeah, he gets blamed for that.
Yes.
But when it comes to the other stuff, like Aaron Judge slamming his toe, no, he doesn't get blamed for that. Giancarlo Stanton missing time, he doesn't get blamed for that. Josh Donaldson missing time, he doesn't get blamed for that. But for everything else that I pointed out to, absolutely. And like Steve said, we all wanted Volpe. Yeah, I wanted both Volpe and Peraza. I wanted Volpe to be the second baseman, and I wanted Peraza to be the shortstop. I agree with you, Steve. When it comes to that, we all wanted Anthony Volpe. And now, if the Anthony Volpe and the Peraza situation was flip-flopped, right? If Peraza was up here at shortstop, struggling, hitting below 200, errors left and right, and if Anthony Volpe was down at the minor league level, killing it the way that Peraza is right now, us fans would be at the stadium rioting for this front office to make the decision to bring Anthony Volpe up. Why aren't the fans making the same noise that we would for Volpe for Peraza? Why isn't Peraza up here at the major league level? If anybody deserves an opportunity, it's definitely Peraza. Now, if you want to send down Anthony Volpe for a couple of weeks or for have to figure it out, send him down, right? I don't look too big into the St. Louis Cardinals. They sent down Christian Walker, who's their number 1 prospect, right? Yeah. The Baltimore Orioles, they sent down Grayson Rodriguez, who's their number 1 pitching prospect, right? So if you send him down after struggling at the major league level, I don't think it'll be that big of an issue. Send him down, bring up Peraza, in a couple of weeks, trade Gleyber Torres, bring Anthony Volpe back up, put him at second base. What's your thoughts, TC?
Well, yeah, look at what the Blue Jays even did. They sent down Alek Manoah. I mean, did anyone see that coming?
Yeah, who was top 5 in Cy Young voting in the American League last year.
Exactly. So I mean, nobody is safe. I mean, if you're performing at this level the way he is, I mean, he needs a change. He needs his confidence. He's lost that. Um, but they treat him differently because again, in the off season they passed up on all the different shortstops that were the free agents, Correa and Simeon and Seager and all, and they put all their eggs in their basket for Volpe. And so they don't want to look bad, sending them down and saying they were wrong and bringing up Peraza, even though Peraza was probably the number one shortstop before Volpe. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, it shouldn't. One guy should not be off limits of getting sent down. It you know, when you're performing like this, it, it's almost, what is it, mid June already. I mean, he's had over 2 months. Uh, it can't go on, and it's extra. The lights shining on him extra now because everybody else is slumping. If he was the only one, I think the Yankees would be fine. He'll get, give it time, but not with the whole lineup of guys hitting 200 or less. It's just a glaring light on it. He can't escape it, and you got Peraza in AAA, lighting it up. So I mean, the obvious choice is go down, Peraza. Let's see what you got, and who knows? Will Peraza even perform? We got to see what we have with these guys. We can't just ride it out. We're gonna we're gonna be out of contention by the time they figure things out.
When you look at Oswald Peraza's numbers, right, and when you look at the span of it over 150 games, he's on pace for 53 home runs, 112 RBIs, 37 steals, a 311 batting average, a 980 OPS. What does he deserve to get a shot? What are we waiting for? Especially like you said, TC, we need a jolt of something. We need some type of energy. And I think Peraza will give us that type of energy. And I honestly think if Peraza comes up here and he performs, you put him at shortstop, you put Volpe at second base, I think Volpe will feed off of the energy from Peraza and he will start turning around because the spotlight will be off of Anthony Volpe, right? Exactly. Brandon Cuddy from from Twitter report the Yankees knew they would be in this spot when it comes to Oswald Peraza. He's playing well, but he's also blocked at the majors. Meanwhile, Anthony Volpe still continues to struggle, and they hope he can figure it out in the majors. Is Anthony Volpe the odd man out when it comes to this conversation? I don't think he is the odd man out. I just think he's just struggling right now. And like you brought up and like I brought up, if we bring up Peraza, another young kid, it's just another young kid that Anthony Volpe can have around him and can feed off of him. Maybe being around these veterans are intimidating when it comes to Anthony Volpe, because at the beginning of the season, even though he was struggling when it comes to his batting average, he was still getting on base. He was still working the walks, getting on base, stealing bases. He's not doing that right now.
I know.
I don't even remember the last time Anthony Volpe even walked in a game.
Yeah. I don't know. I know he pinch ran the other day and he was on base. I think that was the only way he was on. I mean, it's pretty sad. I mean, the guy's an instant double. He 14 for 14 steals.
Yeah.
But yet he can't get on base. I mean, they put him in leadoff and 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I mean, they put him everywhere in the lineup, and it's just it's too bad. And the Yankees just they have so much pride and analytical, and they don't want to look bad. Sending him down. If he was on another team, if he was on Tampa or the Orioles or the Red Sox or something, I'm sure he would be sent down right away. But everyone's looking, all the writers, all the reporters, everyone's like, oh yeah, look at you guys. You guys had all this faith in Volpe, and now look at he's in AAA. They're gonna take all this abuse. They don't want it. They don't want to handle that. They don't. They don't want to look bad, and that's why Peraza down in the minors. Just wasting away. Same thing with Florio, Rortvet, Chaparro, all the rest of them. And who knows what they'll do with the rest of these guys that behind them, like Wells and Spencer Jones. I mean,
we always hear about our young prospects, but the Yankees always decide to trade them away, and we never get to see them here at the major league level with the Yankees performing with our team. Guys, also, We are sitting at 23 likes. We got 34 people in the building. Smack that like button. We got 13 people, 15 people that didn't smack that like button. Smack that like button for your boys. Let's get the stream up to 30 likes right now as we have the conversation. Hector Cruz is in the chat. Shout out my guy, Hector Cruz. Hector Cruz says Peraza should have came up when Donaldson was hurt. He would have had his spot alongside of Volpe. Now they would have to embarrass Volpe to give him a shot. Absolutely, Hector. You hit it right on the head. Yep. You should have called up Peraza when Josh Donaldson was injured. That should have happened. That way we wouldn't be having these conversations, because if you decide to send Anthony Volpe down and call up Oswald Peraza, you're clearly signaling to your fan base that you do not believe Anthony Volpe is ready to be an everyday shortstop. Like you said, Hector, when it comes to the Yankees, you will have to embarrass Anthony Volpe if you want to give him that shot when it comes to Oswald Peraza. You should do it right now. If you have to trade Gleyber Torres for a left fielder, trade Gleyber Torres for a left fielder. But TC, even if we were to do that, there's not that many outfielders out there that's available to trade for. This should have been a situation that was handled in the offseason. Because if you handle it in the offseason, you would have had more options to choose from. Right now, it's slim picking. I was trying to look at the teams that are like just at the bottom of the barrel, because the Miami Marlins, they're not going to trade when they're in the wild card hunt. A lot of these teams aren't going to trade when they're in the hunt for the playoffs right now.
No.
So you got to go to the teams that are on the bottom when it comes to the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Colorado Rockies, the White Sox, the Detroit Tigers. And I was only able to find two outfielders that I think we'd be able to get. The first one was someone we should have signed in the offseason. That's Jerickson Profar, right? Okay. Even though he has no stolen bases this year, he doesn't strike out that much. He is a contact bat. He is batting .248 on the season, 5 home runs and 25 RBIs. He has an OPS of 724. That batting average may not be sexy, but it's better than whatever our left fielders are producing for the Yankees right now.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Profar?
Yeah, I guess he would be a slight upgrade of what we have. I mean, we've been rotating, a million guys out there: IKF, Bowers, Calhoun, Cabrera. I mean, it's just,
and he's a switch hitter also.
Yeah, so I mean, he's definite upgrade. I think there's some other guys out there. I think there's Randall Grichuk would be a good name from the Rockies, and I don't know if the White Sox would entertain this, but Lewis Roberts.
They're not going to give up. They're not going to give up Roberts.
He's a big guy, but it's not. And we've already talked about Cody Bellinger and some of the other guys there. But this definitely should have been handled in the offseason. And right now, teams are looking at the Yankees like, we got your hands tied. We can fleece you for whoever.
Exactly.
We want.
And they're not going. The teams aren't going to be willing to help out the Yankees when it comes to trade. So if we are going to have to trade for somebody, we're going to have to overpay for them at the same time.
Yeah. And
there's another player that I want to pull out, and I'm not sure if he's in the same boat as the last player that you just named, but Kerry Carpenter from the Detroit Tigers. He is a left fielder, batting average of .284, 4 home runs. Not that many RBIs, 81 at-bats. He's been off and on injured, but he's mostly a platoon hitter, right? Those are the only moves that I can see that we can make. Every other outfielder that may be available, low batting average, not that much power, strikeout numbers are through the roof. They don't walk as much. There's hardly anyone out there for the Yankees to get. So it definitely looks like if the Yankees do find someone to play left field, it has to be from internal. It has to be a call-up. It has to be somebody from the minor league system, because when you look at who's available and the teams that are out of the playoff race, there's not that many outfielders that's exciting to you. The only one that's exciting is Juan Soto of the San Diego Padres. That's the only one that's exciting. Yeah. That's an all-star. That's a difference maker. And if the Yankees go down that route to get Juan Soto, you're gonna have to clear the deck and you're gonna have to trade majority of your prospects. Maybe a Conforto from San Francisco or a Jock Peterson from San Francisco. But Conforto, low batting average, hasn't done much this year. Jock Peterson is another guy that is low batting average, high strikeout and home run and home run. Do we want that type of batter in this lineup that we already have a lot of those guys? I don't think so.
No, we don't need that. And yeah, like you said, it could be someone from AAA. We had Florial. They just don't want to give him a shot.
He hit another home run over the weekend. I think he has 14 or 13 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they brought McKinney up, and McKinney's been okay. He's contributing, but I mean,
and like Tat said, even if we were to call up San Francisco, they may not even want to trade for us because of the Judge situation.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we don't have many options. We got to get the guys on our team to start producing immediately. I mean, they got to hit a switch and start, waking up. I don't know. I mean, Judge being out has sapped all their energy. That made them forget how to play baseball. I don't know. What was that? Space Jam with the aliens took all their
the Monstars took their powers.
Took all the powers. I think Judge sucked all their powers. I don't know. It's just been a crazy year. There's just so much that's gone wrong. But in the long run, to be 9 games over 500 and still be in the wild card is amazing.
Yeah,
to me. It really is amazing. And we can go on and on about the hitting, but the pitching has been fantastic.
Yeah, and LI Yankee King want the Yankees to sell. So even if the Yankees were to decide, you know what, we're going to sell and not clean house, who's going to take DJ LeMahieu in his contract? Nobody.
No.
Who's going to take Anthony Rizzo? Who's going to take Josh Donaldson? We can't trade Giancarlo Stanton. So there's the only person that has some value is Gleyber Torres. But even if you were to decide to trade Gleyber Torres, hold on, I got something that I want to bring up real quick.
We got Jerry Cadillo in the chat. Don't forget Jerry's in there. Big Jerry.
To Gleyber Torres, even if we decide to trade Gleyber Torres, right? Gleyber Torres, he is third on our team when it comes to RBIs. He is third on our team when it comes to home runs. He's third in batting average, and he's third in OPS. If we were to trade Gleyber Torres, it has to be for another bat. We can't trade Gleyber Torres for a pitcher.
No, we can't.
We can't, because we need offense more than anything. We definitely need offense more than anything. And when you look at our team, our bullpen has been the best part of our team so far this year. Our starting rotation, even without Carlos Rodon, even without Nestor Cortez being Nestor and Luis Severino being Luis Severino, you got to give credit to Clark Smith and Domingo Germán. They have stepped up tremendously, especially in their last few starts. They may have started the season very rocky, and a lot of Yankee fans may not have had confidence when it comes to Germán and Clark Smith. But over their past 6 to 7, 8 starts, they have been money for us. It's just our offense hasn't stepped up to give them the offensive support that they need to actually get these victories.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I mean, they've carried the load. They've done enough to get us to where we are right now, and the offense just fell flat on their face. And it's sad, because if it's not one thing, it's the other. I mean, we can't have a complete game. The pitching's great, the offense sucks. The offense hits, scores 7 runs, the pitching gives up 8. I mean, it's just, can we get a nice balance, and go on a streak? That's why we haven't been consistent. The team is way inconsistent. We can't get on a hot streak, can't win 7, 8 in a row because of the up and down of both offense and pitching. It's just, but the pitching, I mean, hats off to Schmidt and Germán and all the bullpen, everybody has stepped up. I mean, with all the injuries, I mean, the guys that we have thought to rely on, like Severino and the offense, they're just not performing, and it's just sad to see. it's so frustrating as a Yankee fan because you want to cheer for these underdogs, and I always love these guys that come up and perform, but yet the guys that we're rely on and they're doing nothing. It's like how do I get excited for this team? I
Yeah.
can't. It's hard to watch. The ups and downs. You're like, oh, we do something good. The next inning we flop. We give up 2 runs on errors and throwing balls around, and
it leaves you with like a bad taste or a bad
yeah,
feeling right here in the pit of your stomach, right?
yeah,
Let's look at
it
the
does.
chat real quick to see what they have in the chat. Sean Brownie brings up that's why we need to trade for pitching first. The bullpen is taxed and needs to be reinforced. If anything, trade for a reliever. If anything, not for a starting pitcher, because we got guys coming back and
Yeah,
we need more
got news on
offense more than
Rodon. He's coming
anything.
back.
Yeah,
He's doing well. He's gonna. I
he's
think he.
doing well, even though he hit Willie Calhoun the other day when they had a live BP. But yeah, Carlos Rodon, he is making his way back. He he faced more hitters this time around than he did on his first time around. Anthony Ribeiro in the chat. Hey, yo, Anthony. I think it's the first time we saw Anthony. So welcome, Anthony, to the Morning Brew family. Anthony says, guys, this time last year, we were lights out winning and struggled the second half. If we get back Judge, Bader, Rodon, bring up Peraza, send Volpe down, maybe the second half run is possible. Yeah. I agree, Anthony, but that's all indicative of the front office making the moves that they have to make. When it comes to Harrison Bader, we were supposed to see him over the weekend. Don't you remember, TC? The last time we reported, we were told that Harrison Bader would be in the lineup on Friday. Still, no update on Harrison Bader. Yes, Rodon is on his way back. Aaron Judge, when it comes to Judge, I see some people saying, oh, Judge is coming off for the IL soon. Maybe we'll get Judge back. No, we're not. We're not going to see Judge until like the last week of this month or the first week of July. We're not going to see Judge.
At least 2 more weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and for Yankee fans that are pointed out that Aaron Judge is leading the votes when it comes to the All-Star game, that's all nice and dandy, but I don't want Aaron Judge playing in the All-Star game, especially if he's coming back from that toe issue. I don't want Judge to be in the All-Star game. What's your thoughts on that, TC, before we continue?
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, coming back from the injury, and then especially if he gets injured in that game and he's down for, we talked to the doctor the other day, and he said this could be a lingering injury, and it could go all year. I mean, there's things that they can wear in their shoe, a carbon fiber, or to help with the,
and that alleviates some type of pain. Yeah.
But I'm guessing that in the off season he's probably going to have some surgery, and he's going to be feeling these effects all year. And for some gut feeling, I'm thinking he's not going to be the same Judge when he comes back, and all the fans got to be prepared for this. It's going to disappoint everybody, but yeah, we definitely can't play in the All-Star game. I know
he definitely can't play in the All-Star game. Yeah,
just show up but not play. I mean, forget about that. He's more important to this team down the stretch with us trying to even just make the playoffs. So forget that. Forget the All-Star game.
And like D-Rod says, to be fair, we were knocking Smith in April. Absolutely. D-Rod, our friends from Foul Territory, Scott Braun and Eric Kratz, they nicknamed him Clark Piece of Schmidt. Yeah. That's how it was. That's how bad we were feeling when it comes to Clark Piece of Schmidt. We nicknamed him that.
We
was killing this kid in April. Now he's probably one of our best, if not top 3 starting pitchers in that rotation. Garrett Cole, Domingo Germán. I've never been comfortable with saying I trust Clark Smith or Domingo Germán on a mound. That's only been over their last 6 to 8 starts. They have been solid for us. Solid. Yeah. And when Rondon comes back, we're going to be able to add Clark Smith to the bullpen or Domingo Germán to the bullpen to make our bullpen even better than what it already is. So when it comes from the pitching side of things,
don't forget Nestor's out. So
no. Well, no. But I'm saying if Rodon comes back, we just have to move Clark Smith, one of them, to the bullpen.
Yeah. Oh no, what a weapon! He'd be out of the bullpen. I mean,
And Damian said, "Look, I'm having deja vu. This is the same conversation every damn year.
Yeah, we're used to it.
Absolutely.
We are
We
so
are
used to it.
used to it at this moment because what we have seen has been front office negligency. It's just a bunch of negligency from the front office. We should not be having this conversation about looking for a left fielder. That should have happened in the offseason. That's the one thing.
Roster
That's why
construction.
the roster construction on this team has been poor. IKF, tremendous job. He's batting like 240 right now on the season. He has done a tremendous job. Oswald Cabrera, struggling. He can't hit. Let's be honest. We may love Cabrera. We may love the energy that he brings, but the kid can't hit.
We have, Hector, we have a team of utility players. That's all we have on this team. Utility role bench players that are having to step into a starting role. It doesn't work. I get it with the injuries, but this should have been addressed, like you said, in the beginning of the year. And they never did it. And they've been doing this type of maneuvering every single year. Put 2 or 3 star players, put all our money, and everybody else is mediocre. You can't win a championship like this. You can't. We need a little bit more star power sprinkled in this lineup. We have too many old guys, too many utility guys out of position. It's a bad watch, and it's a terrible look for New York. This is not a Yankee team that I remember in the 90s with the Jeter years. They didn't have this. They didn't have bench guys playing everyday roles. I mean, you had your lineup
they didn't have
card
multiple
filled
guys
out.
in the lineup. They didn't have multiple guys in the lineup batting less than 200. Are you kidding me?
They
You
wouldn't
think
even see the
George would have
field. They
stood for
wouldn't even
that?
see it. No, they wouldn't even sniffed the lineup. But I mean, the lineup card was filled out. It was, all the way down. Knobloch, Jeter, O'Neill, Bernie. It was the same guys every day. Today's Yankees, we have no clue what the lineup is day to day. No clue.
Juanita, they bring up a good point. Why wasn't that gate latched? It was latched. It's just Aaron Judge is that much of a force of a human being. He broke through it. Just so you guys know, that gate, it wasn't open since the 80s. That gate wasn't normally open left and right. That's not how the guys from the bullpen come in. They come through another way. ESPN showed that they had Eduardo Perez out there. That gate wasn't open since the 80s. It was damn near rusted. Aaron Judge is that much of a force of a human being that he broke that gate down. I got also some looking up here because we talk about Juan Soto. He's not going to be a free agent until 2025. So if we want Juan Soto in this lineup, we have to go out there and we have to trade for Juan Soto. But if we trade for Juan Soto, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a Jason Dominguez. It's going to take a Oswald Peraza, Austin Wells, Spencer Jones, Clayton Beater. Are we willing to gut our farm system knowing that we have payroll issue? We have veterans in this lineup that aren't producing. We need young kids to come up that aren't paid that much so we could sprinkle them around our big contracts. TC, when I ask you, do you feel comfortable gutting the farm system to get a Juan Soto, knowing that we have payroll issues and we have all these big time contracts on our roster?
No, not really. I mean, it does scare me. I mean, we have Aaron Judge. He's our star power. I mean, I love Juan Soto. I mean, what he brings, and he would fix a lot of issues, in left field. But at the expense of gutting the farm system, I don't know about all those guys that you mentioned. That would take years to recoup, and we don't even have the guys around Juan Soto to even soften that blow. Juan Soto and Judge, they're not going to carry this team with you got Rizzo and Stanton and DJ, the same guys slumping. Well, one guy's not going to make the difference. So I think that would be a horrible move. Honestly, I think it would.
And like L.I. Yankee King said right here, this right here is probably top chat of the day. But he said a Juan Soto trade will cripple the Yankees. Absolutely. It will cripple our farm system. It will hamstring us because we will be stuck with all these high payroll players. You got to look at it. 2025, when he's a free agent, we still have Giancarlo Stanton on the team, but for like a season or two, right? If we trade for Juan Soto now, we're gonna have Juan Soto, Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton for like the next 5 years. Together, collectively, all three. In 2025, that's when the Marlins they start paying. Or next year is when the Marlins start paying $10 million each season for Giancarlo Stanton's contract. So in 2025, when Juan Soto's a free agent, the Yankees aren't going to be paying $35 million a season for Giancarlo Stanton. They'll be paying $25 million for Giancarlo Stanton. Maybe if the Yankees are willing to eat another $10 million from that, we could trade Giancarlo Stanton to a team that he wants to go to. But I'm just thinking in the hypothetical. I agree with you, Eli. A Juan Soto trade in this moment will cripple us.
Yeah, we gotta find ways to maneuver out of the Stanton contract. I think we got to move on. We got to move on from DJ. We got JD he'll be gone. Glaber, hopefully he's either traded at the deadline or at the end of the year. Yeah, he'll be gone. So this roster might look completely different next year because it's time. It's time. We can't keep fooling everybody. This organization is just hanging, like dangling carrots. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and they never do anything. It's keep us on a string, just waiting and hoping. But they have to bring back the same guys. We've seen them time and time again. They struggle. They can't hit. They're done. And we got to move on. It's time to just dump all these guys and Judge and maybe Bader and build around that. You got the pitching. We got guys, Peraza, Rortvedt, Chaparro, Flora. Some of those guys, sprinkled in. Dominguez. It's got to have a new look next year. We can't do this again next year. We can't.
Definitely not. And I saw Damien in the chat brings up. Hold on. And this is a nice counter argument, right? Listen, if the Soto trade cripples the Yankees, can anyone tell me the difference and what would be different with what Cashman has done and for the next 4 years of Cashman? The only difference, Damien, is that if we don't trade for Juan Soto, at least we will have depth pieces in the minor league system so they can come up, right? If we gut our whole entire farm system for a Juan Soto, how many times a year does Harrison Bader get injured? How many times a year does Giancarlo Stanton gets injured? Anthony Rizzo gets injured. We need these extra depth pieces in the minor league system to fill in at the major league level, right? Yeah. If we have big money contracts like a Aaron Judge, like a Juan Soto, like a Giancarlo Stanton, you need the young kids that are being paid at the bare minimum to come up so you could sprinkle them around these big top-heavy contracts. You got to look at it also. In 2025, Anthony Rizzo won't be a part of this team anymore. Right. You got to also put that in consideration. If we wait till Juan Soto becomes a free agent, Anthony Rizzo money will be off for the books, right? Josh Donaldson's money will be off for the books. Gleyber Torres, Gleyber Torres and his contract will be off for the books. We'll have a lot more available. Severino's money will be off for the books. We'll have a lot more money to invest in Juan Soto and still have the prospects to make a trade if we have to make a trade at that time.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we have to do. There's no way we can gut the system with Juan Soto. We've got to wait till it's free.
I agree with you with that one, Damien. I agree with you with that one because the Yankees, all they do is just let their players in the minor league system just stay there and they don't call them up. We need to start calling up some of our minor league players.
Yeah. We have to. We have to make these smarter decisions and stop just holding on and waiting. Oh, be patient. Be patient is over with now. That's done. How about getting rid of you? Getting rid of Cashman, Boone, the hitting coaches. Maybe we'll start there.
you said, how about getting rid of you? I'm like, what I do? What I do? You said me.
I'm talking about Cashman. Not you. No way.
Let's see. Hold on one second. got to bring this up, right? Because we got to switch up the mood real quick. 39 people in the building, 28 people. Hit that like button. We got 28 likes right now. Oh, 30 likes right now. If you guys can smack the like button. The Subway Series, it starts tonight. The Yankees and the Mets enter the Subway Series trying to survive. They're in desperate need for serious power. It's getting so bad that the New York Mets, they signed Luke Voit right before the Subway Series to face the Yankees. What's your thought? What was your thoughts when you heard the news that the Mets signed Luke Voit, another former Yankee?
Yeah, I just smiled. I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. I see bring a little more, spice to this Subway Series. I like because it has none right now. I mean, because with Judge and Alonso out, but I still think the shade. What is it? What do they call the stadium now?
City Field.
City Field. I keep calling it Shea.
City Field.
Yeah.
City Field,
not
City Field.
Yeah, I think
City
it's gonna
Field,
be
City
it's gonna
Field.
be rocking. It still will be rocking because the Mets fans hate Yankee fans and vice versa, and the Yankee fans will show up and. But yeah, this having Luke Voit there, that's nice. I like it. I like what the possibilities of what's gonna happen. But they need a spark too. The Mets have been struggling so bad.
I'm not sure if. I'm sorry. Go ahead, TC. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I'm saying that they're losing. They were losing walk-offs to the Braves. They're getting crushed by the Pirates. I mean, we're in every game. We're just not hitting, but they're just playing god awful right now.
Yeah, and like Steve says in the chat, he's signed to a minor league contract. He should be reporting to Syracuse. I'm not sure if it was yesterday he reported to Syracuse or today. So most likely we won't see him in the Subway Series, but he will be with the Mets. They got to find whatever they got to find, right? I remember a couple of seasons ago, there were some Yankee fans saying that Luke Voit was better than Pete Alonso. How do you feel? How do you guys feel now about Pete Alonso and Luke Voit? Pete Alonso is definitely the better player when it comes to that. Right. But Big Steve on Twitter, the Subway Series would be a true testament of fandom and loyalty because one fan base will be put in a blender of emotion while the other is in euphoria of misleading hope. I'm not sure which one's the Yankee or which one's the Mets, but when it comes to that tweet, it sounds like it's a little bit of the both because us Yankee fans, we are blinded by our loyalty to our team. This is our team, and we will always be there to root for our team. But it doesn't seem like the front office has that same feeling. When it comes down to it, TC, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, both teams, they've been both euphoria, misleading hope, and emotions. I mean, two of the highest payrolls in baseball, and they're not performing. These teams, I wouldn't say these are the leading candidates for World Series. Not this year. And
nope.
It's just been a year full of just blunders and mistakes and injuries and just bad baseball. And bad decisions all around, coaching decisions and players' decisions, and it's unbelievable. I mean, to think of these teams, the hopes, especially the Mets. What are they, 350 their payroll? I mean, they bought everybody, and I can't believe that. I mean, they don't have the injuries we do, and they're just terrible. They're just a terrible team. And they got two of the best pitchers. I mean, they might be past their prime with Scherzer and Verlander.
Yeah,
and they can't get it done, and that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah, but at least the Mets, they have Francisco Alvarez, who is a young young rookie. He's killing it right now.
Yeah.
If you had to compare rookies, Alvarez to Anthony Volpe, Alvarez has definitely had a better first year than Anthony Volpe has had a first year. The issue with the Mets is they don't have a closer, and their middle relief is horrible. They have no middle relief. That's the issue with the Mets. Their bullpen is shot. If they had our bullpen, they probably would have a better record than we do right now. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of the top two horses in Kodai Senga. But their offense, their offense struggles a lot. Like their offense, they can't even buy a run out there. Their offense seems worse than ours. You got fans over there calling for young kids to come up, and I'm not sure what they're going to do. Vientos, I'm not sure that front office, they don't have any faith in Vientos, but you need to start calling up some more of your young players, right? You called up Brett Beatty, you called up Francisco Alvarez, call up your other guys that you got in the minor league system to help your team out, because the veterans that you guys have at the big league level isn't helping your team the same way the veterans we have at the big league level isn't helping our team right now. TC, I want to ask you this. So we've had, since the Dodgers series, you could say a week of Josh Donaldson. What's your take on Josh Donaldson in the week that he has been back? Mind you, he has 6 hits on the season. 5 of them are home runs.
Isn't that the stat for every guy on our team? It's like that's it. That's all they do. But yeah, the Dodgers series, he had those 3 home runs in the Dodgers series, and after that he's done nothing. And like we thought, like we expected. It's only a matter of time. I really wish they only give him another week or two and be done and move on. He's not giving us anything. He's not giving us, and we have guys that could. Peraza is right there just waiting to get his shot. But these guys are past their prime. They're done. I mean, it's sad to say LeMahieu might as well be right there, right with JD. And I don't know. I don't know how much more time we can go on with these guys hitting. I don't even think Donaldson's batting 200. Was he batting 150?
I don't know. I have no idea. He's batting a tour date. That's exactly what he's batting.
150. My guy, he's batting 150. Yep.
My guy Anthony says, and I think Anthony makes a great point, right? And this is one thing we always got to consider when having these conversations. Guys, we are spoiled. We are always relevant in New York sports. Unlike the Amazons, which is the Mets, the A's, Yankee fans, we are blessed. It's rough right now, but great is yet to come when it comes to this team. Let the kids blossom. Go Yanks. 80% agree with that statement right there, Anthony, right? Yeah. The other 20% is I'm not happy with it. And yes, I may be a spoiled, entitled Yankee fan, but like Anthony says, we have been relevant when it comes to New York sports. It's not like the Knicks, who's been horrible for the past 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Anthony's right. The Yankees have been relevant when it comes to New York sports. But I don't want relevancy when it comes to the Yankees. I want championships. Just making it to the playoffs is not good enough, right? There's so many ways you can make it into the playoffs now when it comes to the extra wild cards. Just making it to the playoffs isn't good enough when it comes to the Yankees. We've been told by George Steinbrenner, or we have been conditioned for years to believe it's either championship or bust. Anything less than that is unacceptable. And that's how Yankee fans should carry themselves. Anything other than a championship is unacceptable. I'm not happy with just making it to the postseason. I'm not happy with just being relevant, 100 wins, get knocked out in the first round or second round. I'm not happy with that. We haven't been to a World Series since 2009.
Yeah.
Since 2009. That year I became legal age when it comes to drinking in 2009. Not to age myself.
Yeah, the Jeter teams would never put up with this. The Jeter wouldn't stand for this. He's not. It's championship or bust. It's not. Oh, hey, go to the media. Yeah, we're happy to just make the playoffs. We look good. We had some professional at bats. Never in a million years would you hear him say that. And that's what we get out of these guys, Cashman, Boone, Dylan Lawson, with these stupid comments. Oh, they're just acceptable or professional. Get out of here. We're done listening to your BS. We need championship, not just championship caliber with your talk. Let's see it on the field and some of your decisions that you're making. It's just awful. We've seen this year in, year out. I don't know what happened. The philosophy has just turned since 2009, even prior. I mean, we were, I think, fortunate just some of the moves Cashman did in the offseason to make it 2009. But to be accepting this, making the playoffs every year, I know, I get it. We don't We don't tank. We don't. We always finish above 500. We're a good regular season team, but we can't build a team like that. We have to be built for the postseason, and they don't do that. They're just looking to sell tickets, and it's sad. I'm tired of it. All their money and everything else besides winning. We need George Steinbrenner attitude back, and how I don't know. What I heard from him, I thought it was going to be that way, but
I
I
thought
don't
so
know.
too. He had me sipping the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Hal Steinbrenner, he pulled the wool over my eyes for a little bit, right?
he did.
Hal Steinbrenner, you got to do something with this team. Hold on, I've seen a couple of chats that I want to pull up, like LI Yankee King hitting a professional 200. That's our lineup, a professional 200 lineup, right? Yankee Clipper always said, if relevancy is supposed to be acceptable to Yankee fans, lower the prices on tickets, sales, merch, and everything else. Absolutely. If relevancy is where you just want to be, there should be no reason why a Yankee jersey at the team store should be worth $300. There should be no reason that an average Yankee ticket should cost you $120 if just relevancy is just where you want to be.
And what are the chicken attendees? Were they like $75?
Oh, don't get me started with the chicken tendies. They're actually $22. It's kind of reasonable. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And you get a free soda, right?
Oh,
Keith
okay.
Saunders is in the building. Keith, what you doing, my guys? Salute, 3 capital S's. If you guys can, we got 33 likes on the stream right now. I know there may be a few people that haven't smacked that like button, but smack that like button. Also, we are at 669 subscribers on the channel. We had a few more extra people join us while we was live. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. It does wonders for the channel. It helps us get out our content to other Yankee fans. But also, TC, any last words before we get out of here, my brother?
You know what? I'm gonna take a note right from my buddy there, Pinstripe Chronicles Tats. Since when is it Mendoza line acceptable as the norm?
Never.
Pathetic.
Never.
And that is what this team is accepting. Pathetic 200 or below hitters. And it's gotta end. Unfortunately, we don't have guys to put in that are better. But these guys have to be held accountable. If they, like Glaber, mess up, do these lapses, these lackadaisical, they need to be benched. The accountability needs to be there. I'm sorry, but if they have to send some of these guys down and finally bring up these guys and get a guy that can hit over 200, I mean, please do it. But this Mets series, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I mean, we got Severino against was it Scherzer tonight? So I don't know.
Hopefully Severino is not pitching batting practice today and the Mets don't score 5 runs off of us in the first 2 innings. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Yankees offense looks like a major league offense and we can scratch a couple of runs. Ever since Aaron Judge has been out, we've been averaging 3.1 runs per game without Aaron Judge in the lineup.
I thought it was even lower than that.
I think major league average is 4.5 runs a game. We are below average when it comes to runs per game with Aaron Judge out of the lineup. I'm sorry to say it, but the longer Aaron Judge is not in this lineup, the more we're going to fall in the standings. The worse it's going to be when it comes to us in the wild card hunt. We were 15 games over 500 when we had Aaron Judge in the lineup. We are only 9 games over 500 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we were about 5 games out in the standings. Now we're about 10, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yep.
One guy shouldn't make the difference, but man, can you imagine if we didn't sign Aaron Judge? We would be in last place.
Especially when you play in a sport that doesn't reward teams that just build their teams around one player. This isn't a one-player league. This is not the NBA. This is not the NFL where you could just build a team around a quarterback or a star player like you can in the NBA. This is not that. You need more than just one player. The reason why the San Francisco Giants didn't do anything with Barry Bonds is because Barry Bonds had Jeff Kent hitting behind him. He didn't have anybody else in that lineup.
Yeah.
Not saying Aaron Judge is Barry Bonds or whatever, but when it comes to this day and age, Aaron Judge is as close as you're going to get to Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're not going to do anything when you just have one player that you build your team around. You got to have multiple players.
Yeah. The other guys have to step up and they have to contribute. You can't, I mean, you can't hit the home run, pitch, run. I mean, you can't do everything. So he can only account for one run if it hits a home run. Everybody else, what.
And I just want to give a quick shout out too to Anthony as well. Anthony, this is the first time seeing you in the chat. I hopefully you come around more often. On Fridays, we got an open panel, Anthony. So you're more than welcome to jump on the open panel to give your take or whatever. But like, hold on, wait. Yankee Clipper just said, Anthony, I am thankful for fellow fans like you. We need positivity and hope, brother. And that's the one thing I want to say. With every statement that Anthony made or every chat that he wrote in the chat right now, it's been positive. And that's what us Yankee fans, we need right now. It's easy for us to just be down in the dumps, want to beat up on this team, want to beat up on the front office. But Anthony is the type of fans that we all need to have next to us that care, right? Anthony, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you put in the chat today. Like I said, you're more than welcome to jump on the open panel. Everybody, make sure you guys jump on the open panel this Friday. We're going to have an open panel. Make sure you guys tune in. We'll see you guys this Thursday coming up 11 a.m. TC, any last words for the people before we get out of here?
Don't forget September 23rd. Get your tickets to the event. We are going to be there. My dad, Pete Simonetti, my brother, Jigga Man, Medina, all the chat legends will be there.
Derek from NYY Recaps will be there. It's going to be a lot of us in the building. Our friend Julian will be there. Make sure you guys tune in. Get your tickets. Dane's going to be there. Carlos from Yankees Farm is going to be there. I think Marco as well is going to be. There's going to be a lot of different Yankee content creators there.
Before you go, they're asking for the tickets. Do you have a link for that? Or
I don't have the link right now. Keith, I'll send you the link. I'll text you the link. But if you guys want to find the link,
Tats will be there.
Make sure Tats will be there as well. You guys could go to nyynewstv on Twitter, to the Twitter profile. You'll be able to purchase your ticket there. They have the link. But Keith, I'll send you the link so you can get your ticket as well. Friday, the show's at 11 o'clock. Anthony, open panel normally starts at 11:30, 11:45. Anybody who wants to jump on the open panel is more than welcome to jump on the open panel. I think that's one of the best things that we do when it comes to this show. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Smack that like button, smack that subscribe button, and like always, peace out.
Peace.
Deuces.
As a competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A ever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you didn't see yourself, that's a bad